So I thought that what would be fun would be to see how I can do with Romania from the very start of the game. I want to see how far we can get. Now, we're going to have the most pitiful nation ever. We've got 24 basic fighters there, and we've got so we've got a total of 48 fighters. Sorry, 48. So what is that? 72 fighters. Not great. I mean, our air force is nothing. We have what is our navy? The NMS Regel Ferdinand. So we got 4 destroyers as our entire navy. And we are sandwiched betwixt the Soviet Union and what will eventually be fascist Europe. So I need to pick a side. Now we can either become the front line against the Soviets. The one good thing about doing that is they have to cross a river, and I could build land forts all along here and just hold and defend against the Soviets and hope to God that the Germans invade them and win. What happened in my game, the reason I was able to beat the Soviets so easily, is they went to war with Romania, and that then folded into a war against Yugoslavia when they turned fascist, and too many Soviets poured through the gap, and they trusted in the treaty. So what I did was broke the treaty, came around the back to Odessa, cut off hundreds and hundreds of divisions of guys, rounded them up and killed them all. So that was really, after that they just had nothing. We got to Moscow in like a month after, like we waited through winter, they put what they had on the front line, I set all my attack plans to just like a huge sweep, didn't even have to do encirclements, I just knew if we pushed them far enough to Moscow and they lost enough troops they'd capitulate, and they did. So that was that, but so with Romania, I mean I'm guessing that we've just got nothing, like what's our production at? We have 7 factories, 7 military factories. That's it. So technology-wise, I'm thinking we actually don't have long. Romania tends to get involved in the war fairly early, and what I'd like to do is start messing with like Bulgaria, Yugoslavia, and Hungary. I think I'm going to go with the Nazis on this one, and I'm going to try and take Bulgaria and Yugoslavia and Hungary, and that would be the play. Now the weird thing is that because of the new points system, when you win a war and this country capitulates, you have a sit-down peace treaty, and all the people who won sit around and carve up the country, which is really good. I really like that. I like the way you do that. So depending on how you've done in the war, you have more points to spend on your turns. You say, well, we're going to get Sofia. And they go like, all right, fine, we'll take the port. And you go, well, I want these provinces. So you end up with this little sort of country that you steal, and you divide it up with your allies in the war, which I think is a really good system. Because it basically used to be, I mean, I remember one time I was playing, and we did all the work in France. But because technically Italy had declared the war before us, they got the whole of France. And the Benelux regions, all of it. I was like, okay, that wasn't part of the plan. And then I thought, well, we'll invade the UK, and I'll get the UK at least. But again, Italy got the lion's share of the UK. They got the whole of the UK. So Italy was like written across the map. And I was like, this wasn't meant to have, like, this was meant to be... This was meant to be mine. We did all the work. We did all the everything. And the Italians said, yeah, thank you, bene, bene. And they took it. So as Romania, what I've got to do is, if I'm with the Third Reich, and they're like, hey, you want to help us kill Hungary? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. We've got to go for it. Like, you've got to take as much of it as possible. Now, there are two things about Romania. Number one is these mountain ranges are the real deal, all right? A lot of mountain ranges. If you're going to be fighting a defensive war, mountain troops are amazing. In mountains, right? Absolutely amazing. They're really, really, really good. You can dig right down and trench, and you basically can sit there for a very long time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a defensive line with the Soviets and build land forts along this border, as well as building factories. Now, our infrastructure is going to be absolutely garbo. Let's check out our infrastructure. 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Not bad, you know, could be worse, but could also be a lot better. So let's start building some military factories to try and get our production up. These are all maxed. Good God. Because we don't have the technology. You see, once your technology will unlock more factory slots in these locations. So we can actually, this is the best we can do, is stick 4 factories down. Fine, whatever. So a land fort inflicts a attack penalty of 15% for each fort level on the attacker in combat. Attacking from multiple directions will reduce fort's effect. So if I stick forts along the border with the Russians, That should help. River crossing plus forts. We've got a little mini Maginot. Obviously, concerns are if the Germans go to war with the Russians and divide up Warsaw along this line, I believe this becomes Russian. So the land fort will have to go over to this bit as well, actually, which isn't ideal. This is that hills? Yeah, alright. And these are mountains. So what I'll do is we'll have the land fort there and I'll stick hill troops in here, which is fine. If they want to attack into mountains, they normally don't have mountain troops because, you know, look at Russia. It's like as flat as fuck, right? These clever mountain men from Romania will show them what's up. Do we want to be buddies with the Soviets or buddies with the Nazis? I think, honestly, given our position, it's far easier for us to be buddies with the Nazis. And I think that I'm going to try and get Bulgaria. Bulgaria would be a good get. And it gives me access into Turkey, Greece, and then the rest of it. So I think Bulgaria will be my first... That's my long-term goal, is to get Bulgaria. Then they're smaller than us. One good thing we've got in terms of trade is we have a buttload of oil. A buttload of oil. But we are going to have to do some serious work. Look at our low manpower. Holy cow. And I think we're a friggin' democracy. So we need to do some work on that. Next election. Elections. God damn. Alright, so let's think here. National focus. We want to go for... We want to go down this sort of route. So the thing is, we could go for industrial and just see where it takes us and just try to build up our industry there. But I personally think that it's only 70 days. So let's go for the industrial effort. We'll spend a couple of years, maybe a year, trying to just build up our industry whilst I'm working towards making us into a fascist state. We've got to get that fascism, yo. Technology. We only get 3 slots. We're going to research... we need to get our construction speed up. We need to improve our efficiency cap. And... what else can we do here? I think this is more of a defensive. Manpower is precious, bullets are cheap. That I like. We might have to go down the superior firepower doctrine. We can't spare the dudes. It's kind of tempting to go for a more defensive. Look at that, support battalion. So this will be more about artillery and just trying to not lose 1,000 guys rushing at people. We have low manpower. We're a small nation. So I think the plan is, I mean, mass assault, we can't do that. Like, there's just no way we can go for that. We don't have the dudes. I think weapons and technology is our play. But there's also, how do we get trench warfare? We might even go for the more defensive, like if we do this, we get entrenchment plus 10, entrenchment speed plus 25, and if we get to prepared defenses, even more defense, which might be handy against the Russians. And then if we go for infiltration, we could become more of a sort of crafty army rather than go, because I'm not sure going to be doing much attacking. It's a tricky one. What kind of army do we want? We're going to be fighting in a lot of mountains. Entrenchment is kind of good. See, we're not going to be going for mechanized and motorized, so we're going to be a fairly slow-moving army. That's why I'm thinking if we go down this overwhelming fire, we can just stick, instead of having loads of, like we're with the mountainous terrain around us, we're going south, right? If we're fighting in Turkey, Greece, Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, it's mountainous as hell. So we can't really have mechanized infantry. There's no point. They have terrible attrition in the mountains. We're going to be a mountain infantry and artillery based. So our plan is we dig ourselves into the mountains like ticks. We get our artillery up and we're like, come to us. So that's our plan. We are lacking tungsten and steel. We have low manpower. We need to save up this political power so we can improve our manpower a bit. Free military factories. Let's a little light tank action. We definitely don't need submarines. We need to build convoys. Is what we need. A year for a submarine. I mean, it's just not worth it, honestly. But we're gonna trade. We're gonna trade all our oil and get a buttload of stuff that way. Let's put one in there and one in there. Oh, actually, we don't need any more artillery. Get another one in there. We want to round off our military equipment. Get them all armed with the crummy, whatever the crappy gun. A rifle and a grenade. That's what you get, lads. Good luck. Insufficient resources. We need tungsten and steel. So that's tungsten. Who do we want to trade with? Let's trade with the Soviets. We'll trade with them while we can. We have 10 free convoys and requirement 70 units bought to 50, and we can only trade for up to 51. This deal will cause factories currently constructing buildings. How many factories, how many civilian factories do we have? 13. Are we using all of them? The thing is, if you look at our production, right? Alright, we need tungsten. We're not going to be at full efficiency. You know, we need tungsten steel. We're not at full efficiency. But we don't need to be, I don't think, at this stage. I don't want to trade away our ability to build up our infrastructure just to get some units on the board early. I don't think we need units on the board early. So let's just see how it goes from here. Turn off the day and night or you get fucking a headache. So away we go. We don't have any wars to fight yet, so we're just going to be chilling and building. What did Korea do before StarCraft was invented? It's a good question. Let's start making friends with the Germans. Sweet. So if we do this, it gives us another building slot and a civilian factory for free, and then we can keep doing that, work up our infrastructure, or we can get on the armament. I'm not building units yet. We don't. I mean, we will go collectivist ethos, but we don't have the right party for it yet, so we can't go down there. We're not going to go down Liberty. Fuck that. We're going full Nazi. So let's go for building up our industry first, which is currently pitiful. Spanish Civil War. Come on, nationalist Spain. Pulling for you. We've got oil, like we have lots of oil. We have 32 surplus oil. We should trade that to someone that needs oil. I don't know how to trade stuff to people. Like, I assume you get asked. Yeah, that's a good question. When I'm playing as the Nazis, all I was doing was all I was doing was importing. Like, we needed resources. We didn't have them to give away. Oh, look at all that aluminium they've got in Hungary. We could get... Oh. Actually, these guys have got now. Yugoslavia's got some shit. Look at that. They got chromium. They got lots of chromium. Oh, baby. I smell a fight with the Yugoslavians. We gotta look at their shit. Yugoslavia would be the play. Or maybe I go to diplomacy. One thing you can do, like, it's way easier to start a coup in this game. One thing they haven't added, which I assume is going to be DLC, is espionage. There's like 0 espionage in the game. And I kind of like that. Like, at the moment, it's at a stage where I don't have to worry about that. Sweet. Got that construction effort going. Keep going, buddies. Keep going. So we got some more civilian factories. That's good. We're going to build land forts. We're building these military factories, and then we're going to build more land forts. That's good. Okay. And what about military factories? What are we working on here? We got 8. Okay. What kind of units are we producing here? None. We're just upgrading and stuff at the moment, I think. Mountain men. So we don't have the military experience yet to be able to get artillery in there. It's quite cool. Once you get the military experience, you can then spend it on like new types of unit and stuff, which I really like. So factory output plus 20% and more factories per state. That's concentrated industry. Dispersed industry gives you more factories in a state. You're less vulnerable to bombing. And your output is only plus 10%. I like concentrated. I don't think we're in the way for a bombing. The Russian Air Force is not that great. It tends to get taken out pretty swiftly by the Germans. The Yugoslavians are the guys I want to get. Do we have a national focus to attack Yugoslavia? No. So it's not... They don't have the same kind of... I guess this is the default... focus tree for minor nations. They don't have the same storyline at the moment. Again, that's more stuff I can see coming in the DLC. It's things like minor nations have proper focus trees that are like historical. But obviously that's, it's a lot of work. So this is more resources, definitely. Well, we can change our government a little bit. All right. Fascist demagogue. Get in here, Mihail Sturza. We're going fascism. The Romanian people have a noble history. A history they've been made to forget under the weak and cowardly rule of PNL. They claim to represent the people, but can so feeble a state enforce the will of the people? Only by spilling the blood of these traitors can we fulfill our destiny. The fascist speakers in Romania have made no secret of what they think of our current rulership and political system. Speeches like these have tapped into a public dissent that is particularly pronounced in the more conservative sections of the military. Now, do we want to go for a kind of top-down fascism revolt? Or do we want to go for getting the young people and a popular support? I think we need the people on our side. And let's start recruiting some mountain men. That's all our manpower used up, by the way. That's it. So we need to improve our manpower. Remilitarization of the Rhineland. Wow. Okay, nice. Alright, we've got construction effort 2. We can improve our infrastructure and get at more research and stuff. Or political effort. Yeah, let's get some. We can get a nice boost to political power here. 120 more political power. That's really good. Because we need to get some manpower going here. The Olympic Games are concluded. Right, let's start improving our dudes. Let's get improve their support weapons a bit, poor guys. Give them a good, better machine guns and stuff. Yeah, the research slots are big because we're way behind. 3 is no good. So does anyone know how you trade stuff away? Like I'm finding it. I've got loads of oil. Would love to trade it. Oh, we currently export some to France, the UK, and Norway. So it just happens. Okay, so the exports just happen. All right. Whatever. Because I guess because we have an economy system where, you know, we're just it's free trade, right? So the companies that own those oil wells and whatever, they're trading them away. That's fine. There's our political effort. Sweet. Right. So we have 3 military factories. Let's keep upgrading our dudes because we're training those mountain men. It's going to take a while. Modify our government a bit. So 2.5. That's a bit better, I think. If we go for limited conscription, we'll have some dudes. There, 182,000 dudes. Good. Oh, national focus, infrastructure, baby. So we're going for the superior firepower. Delay. This will help with defending, I think. It's going to take us a wee while. We do need some. The thing is, I don't have the civilian factories yet. How's our constructions going? Building up those military factories a bit, and then we're going to build those land forts. I'm worried if the land forts are actually a waste of time, but all of this is for naught if we end up getting rolled over by the Soviets. And I think the land forts will really help, because our army's going to be garbo compared to them. And remember, we're mountain men, and this is all plains. So we need to build a mountain of concrete to sit on top of it. That's what we're all about. Armand Kalinescu would have you believe Romania stands safe and ununited. It is no surprise such lies have poisoned the minds of our people. When a snake is crawled up next door, look no further than across our border to see countrymen have turned on each other in the name of communism. Pfft. Declaring the end of nations. How long until they declare our nation dead as well? Will the P&L protect us from this threat? The growth of the fascist movement in Romania has been bolstered by the proximity of the communist revolution. Many moderates, who might normally dismiss fascism as another misguided ideological experiment, find this to be a very real concern for them as well. Given the choice between communism of our neighbours and a fascist regime, they would admittedly prefer the latter. They might even be willing to actively support it. Boom! Go fascism! Yeah, you're right. We need some more civilian factories. 18. Could build some more. And then build the forts. God, we're already maxed out. Dang. God damn. Once we research the industry stuff that lets us build more factories per region, I think it'll help. Anyway. How's our recruitment going? Oh, no location set, right. Yes. In Bucharest, please. So that'll reduce research time for industrial stuff by 10%. That's a lot of... It's 150 political capital, or we can go more down the political route. I think we're doing alright as far as fascism goes, honestly. And look at that, fascist support is already at 46%. We're going to win an election. But if we go for Prince of Terror, if we go for Backroom Backstabber, our ideology won't drift as much. But do we get that now? We gain more political power. We gain plus 5% political power gain, which is that. So that would give us a little bit more per day. But when it says ideology drift defense, I'm worried that would defend democracy. We want to save this guy for once we're fascists, I think. If we get George Arganescu, we get plus 15% political power gain, which we can then spend on other stuff. Let's do that. So now we get plus 2.3 per day. National focus. We've got to get to these research slots. So we need steel. Oh man, we need steel. So we're only using 2. We need 12 more. So we need a lot more steel. This kind of sucks. I mean, if I trade for that much, it'll use 3 of our civilian factories. Got to do it. We got to do it. So now we're just lacking a bit of tungsten. Let's get some from, again, from the Soviets. So I mean, it's using up our civilian factories, but we need these goods. We need the goods. Anti-tank might be good, because we're not going to have much in the way of armor. So it'd be good if we could shoot tanks. Let's do that. Fascist coup d'etat! Some will say they saw it coming. Both those who warned against the dangers of fascism and those who extolled it as the savior of Romania have found their prophecies made real today, as the military in Muntenia overthrew the PNL government and seized power. Armand Kalinescu is missing, rumoured to have gone into exile. And the coup has been met with little initial resistance. The new Romanian leadership has no plans to allow resistance to grow either. Martial law is declared. And with the changes that are underway, whatever comes after is likely to be very different. Come on, baby! Yes! Yes! Excellent. Fascists. No elections. Antonescu in charge. Rule him with an iron fist. Field hospital is great. All right, thanks, Clay. I'll definitely get that. We abandon neutral foreign policy. Excellent. Because we're going after the Hungarios. Italy took Ethiopia. British Parliament debates intervention in Benelux. Let's see how things are going with my friends, the Germans. We can join their faction. Let's do it! Yes! Nazis! Nazis! We're with you, lads. All the way. Now, hopefully they'll declare some wars and we can, you know, nip in there and do some stuff. Cavalry. I hate the cavalry units in this game. How's our recruiting and deploying going? Oh, it's just not got any guys. No equipment. We need 13,000. We're making 50 a day. National focus. Get that research slot, baby. Go Bulgaria. Alright. Hungary are fascists too. Maybe we could be chill with the Hungarios. There's our one tank brigade. Brave boys. Are we going to be in are we going to get Antonescu in? Are we going to go offense or defense? I think we're way off that yet. What can we do for industrial stuff? Kind of. I think if we get Avrameshku in, that'll give our infantry a little boost that we need. So it looks like at the moment we're just producing convoys, that's good. Gradually producing extra research slot. Tasty. Get our RT up. National focus. We haven't got more than 50 factories. Add a building slot and add a military factory. Tasty. How's our constructions going? Still working on that civilian factory. And then it's time to fortify the border. We got time. We got time. This is the issue. We've got to cross this friggin' river. We'll have to come in here and sweep around behind. We'll defend here, but our attack focus will be here. So we'll need 2 army groups for that. Go, mountain men, go! Anti-common turn pact. We're in! Japan is going for it in China. Uh-oh. Oh wait, that's going to take ages. Let's get a heavy tank. We can have one little heavy tank brigade that rolls around and use that to punch through the pathetic Bulgarian defenses. Right, we definitely won't only drift. Where's my backroom? I want you to be the backroom backstabber that defends us from the evils of communism. Please. Planes are very valuable because they don't cost manpower, but they do give an advantage in land fights. That's true. The thing is, I don't think we're going to be able to, with our manpower, I don't think we're going to be able to build a lot of light tanks. So I'm thinking just one little heavy tank battalion will help. France and Britain are going for it. All right. Let's build some fighters, yo. 7 a year. God bless us. We may as well improve our, get our fighters going, then, eh? Need some rubber, yo. We're not going to go for strategic destruction, but I think this dogfighting could be kind of handy. Air superiority and stuff like that. Fighter detection. Yeah, we got to spot them before we can kill them, boss. Good idea. Let's go for extensive conscription. There's the manpower now. There it is. Oh, there's our fresh troops. Now we're making one fighter a month. Nearly 2 a month. Yeah, we built 2. Okay. Need some more steel and some more rubber. National focus. Yep. Construction away. Some steel, huh?